Does it feel impossible to lose your unwanted body fat and to improve your health because you're constantly traveling? Well, that's what Mike used to think as well. Mike is a successful CFO. He works long hours and he's traveling consistently every single month. For most of his life, he let his long hours, his travel, and his stressful career be the reason that he didn't prioritize his own health. But one day he got back from an annual blood test and he heard from his doctor that Mike was becoming pre-diabetic, and this shook him to the core. So naturally, he started eating better and he tried to work out as much as he possibly could. But it seemed no matter how good he did at home, every time he would travel or his work schedule got crazy, he would start to lose all the progress that he just worked so hard to get, and he always felt like he was starting over. Once Mike mastered this system, he was able to drop 35 pounds in 6 months. He's no longer pre-diabetic, and he feels confident and comfortable taking his shirt off in his own backyard pool, which he used to avoid. So in this video, I'm gonna be revealing each stage. And my promise to you is that if you follow these steps, you'll never have to worry about your health being sabotaged or sacrificed just because you're away from home. Now, stage number one, it's before the trip. And a lot of men that I talk to, they're unknowingly sabotaging their progress just because they're trying to starve themselves before they leave. And what this does is it unintentionally increases their hunger levels, and it also is going to be giving them cravings while they're gone. So when they do get to their final destination, they're starving and they're eating everything in sight. And that's how you really start to pack on the pounds pretty quickly. It's a trap that many men put themselves in despite having the best of intentions. So instead of starving yourself before your trip, you've got to follow this system, which is going to be starting in stage number one. And how you do that is the 3 days leading up to your trip, you're going to slightly be reducing your carbohydrates for 3 days. And what you need to focus on instead is looking for protein and produce. Things like lean meats, eggs, fruits, and veggies. Remember, this is not low carb forever. It's just short term to be making room for some of the extra calories that you're going to be eating while you're gone. Think of it sort of as budgeting. If you know you've got a big expense coming up next month, then this month you're probably going to be pulling back on some of the spending. It's the exact same theory that applies here. Finally, you've got to plan ahead by packing some protein snacks. We're looking for things like beef jerky or low sugar protein bars. Now we bump into stage two, and this is where you really need to have some simple rules and boundaries in place. Because without these rules or without these boundaries, it's really easy to fall into the all or nothing mentality and eat everything in sight or drink more than you usually would just because you're traveling. So instead of ruining all the progress that you've been working hard towards, just follow these 3 simple rules. We have to identify the throwaway meals. These throwaway meals are ones that you don't even really care about. You should also be skipping the random airport pretzels or the greasy fast food just because you're bored. And when you are eating these filler meals, you've just got to be focusing on the same protein and produce that we talked about before. You've got to save your calories for those meals that you're actually excited and looking forward to eating. So if you know you've got a client dinner or you're headed to an awesome local restaurant or you know the place that you're going to has the best cheesecake in the world, then we save the calories for those times so you can really lean in and enjoy those meals. This way you can enjoy yourself without feeling overly restricted, but without throwing off all the progress that you've been working towards. Rule number 3, you got to choose carbs or cocktails. If you plan on having a couple cocktails, then we keep our carbs low. If you want some carbohydrates, then we've got to skip the cocktails. Because when you stack both of those together, that's when you're going to be seeing weight gain come on quickly. This balance lets you enjoy the trip without feeling totally restricted, but also by staying on track. Now we can move on to the 3rd stage, which is after you get home, so after your travels. Here's where most people panic. They step on the scale, they realize they've gained 3, 4, 5 pounds, maybe even a few more. They punish themselves with extra cardio, or they starve themselves and start implementing their own fasting routine. But what they don't realize is that quote unquote vacation weight, it's not actually body fat, it's just inflammation and extra water retention. One of my clients, Andrew, he recently came back from a birthday trip. When he got home, he stepped on the scale and he had gained 5 pounds in about 4 or 5 days. He celebrated pretty hard and he enjoyed himself while he was gone. But rather than panicking when he got home and stepped on that scale, he implemented this 3-day reset strategy and brought his weight back down to baseline in no time. And here's how you can implement that same 3-day reset strategy on your own. Focus on protein and produce, slightly bring down the carbohydrates, and avoid the temptations to go extreme or start punishing yourself. We just want to let your body do its thing, and you'll be right back on track in no time. And that mentality, that's not just for travel. That's for health and fat loss as a whole. All you have to do is keep it simple and focus on the right things, which is exactly what I teach in my singular focus nutrition strategy. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down how the singular method works and how you can implement it regardless of how hectic your schedule is.